This is what marriage feels like, what it feels like in here right now. Just one person talking, the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. I always get home late doing comedy, and my wife will be asleep, so I'll go in, I fix something to eat, I watch TV. I'll be home for like an hour, and I'll just hear her from the bedroom. She'll be like, Nate, is that you? It's like, you better hope to God it's Nate. You have let some murderer get quite comfortable in this house. He's eating, you know? And I don't have a gun. We don't have a gun to protect us if someone broke into our house. I have a pocket knife. That's what I have. It's gonna do nothing. I don't know even how to use this knife in the middle of the day, much less I'm gonna wake up out of a dead sleep and have some kind of knife skill I've never had before. So what me and my wife do, we sleep strategically in our bed to like prepare for an attack, you know? So like I'm here, like she's closest to the door, but I don't know. It's fine. Look, she doesn't even know there's a strategy. So it's the plan is like the guy would come in, right, and she's gonna lunge at him. She'll lunge, and she'll probably be like, it felt like I got pushed, and be like, well, you don't know what lunging means. And she'll lunge. She'll put up a good fight, you know? At least a good enough fight that I can be practicing with my knife on my side. That's all I want. My dad is a magician. He's done that my entire life. He was a clown at the very beginning, just in case you're like, how do you get into something like that? It goes clown and magic. There's 2 steps. You can take them in either order. I was born, he was a clown. It was never weird to me. I thought everybody's dad was a clown. My first memory of my life is I was 5 years old, and I remember my mom walked me out to the front yard, and my dad pulled up. We had this old red Mazda. He's dressed as a clown. That doesn't even faze me. That's just how he left. How else would he come home? And the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat. That's the first thing that I remember to my life. If you want to know how you get into comedy, that's a pretty good nudge. And I remember it didn't fit, the Easter Bunny head didn't fit in the car, like he couldn't sit normal, so his head was bent to the side. And I remember he had his seatbelt on, and he's just like, and I was like, I like to think about all the other people that saw that just in the car next to him, just at a red light. You're like, I didn't even know they hung out like that. So me and my dad, he just does magic now, and he's very good at what he does. He's very funny, and we do shows together. So one time we did this show. Magicians have conventions where they get together, and they're buy and sell tricks, and they give a lecture, and they do this big show. So this guy was putting one together in Des Moines, Iowa, which is the birthplace of magic, something a lot of people don't know. And it's not, but it does sound like it could be. I don't know why. I said that in Des Moines, and people are like, I think I already knew that. They're like, yeah, he's right. So this guy calls me, he's like, your dad's performing this year, so we want you to come down, and we're gonna make you appear out of a magic trick. I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna surprise my dad, surprise the audience, everybody will go crazy, and then I'll do 5 minutes of stand-up, and that will end the show. He's like, it's gonna be like a big deal. And I was like, all right, I agreed to it. I fly to Des Moines, I'm hiding, I'm in my room, no one knows I'm there. The show starts, my dad's out performing, I climb in a box backstage. When my dad gets done performing, they ask him to stay and help, and they push the box out. The trick is, the guy's a very pretty lady assistant. She walks around, shows the box is empty, and then she climbs in. Normally it just falls apart, and then she disappears. But now it falls apart, and it's me, and I pop out. And you have to come out big. I don't know if you've ever appeared out of a magic trick, but if you do, you can't just be like, how you doing? You know, like, it's gotta be a big grand, like, can you believe it? And I look at my dad, his face is so surprised, he had no idea. but his eyes are just like, why would you ever do this? And I was like, this is not a good time to visit you. The audience is clapping, but they're not going that crazy. Like, the clapping starts dying down, and as I'm standing there, it's like hitting me that I was like, I don't think they know who we are. That guy told me they did, and they don't. They don't know that's my dad. They don't know I'm a comedian. This looks like the stupidest trick they've ever seen. It doesn't make sense. Like, they're like, a pretty girl goes in, then just a whatever dude pops out. That's your trick? Your trick is backwards, sir. It's backwards. And now I gotta do comedy, but they don't know I'm a comedian, so I get a microphone. They're like, he's gonna talk to us now? How long is this trick? And when you do comedy in front of people not expecting comedy, it does not come off as comedy. It sounds like a mean speech. They were just like, get back in the box. Where's the girl? Is she fine? Can we hear from her?
Some people. And I'm married, and me and my wife were in Nashville last summer, and we went out on the lake with some of our friends, and we were floating around in the water, and there was a guy in a boat, like right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that and make you stare at this guy the rest of the day. So I'm staring at him, and then I look at her, and she's staring at him, and I feel like she's staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him because I was like, I'm gonna see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her, you know? We were both putting so much pressure on this guy, and we have a daughter. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and we took her to Disney World, and I made the mistake of like telling my friends. They were just like, I don't know why you're taking her, you know, just wasting money. She's not gonna remember it. And it's like, it's exciting. Like she believes in Minnie Mouse. Like it's fun to see her get excited. Like, what should I do? Should I just lock her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not gonna waste any of my money on you, you know? I love coming here to Montreal. I've been here a few times. Last time I was here, had a bit of a too much of a good time. Is that how you should say it? I was staying here at the hotel, got super drunk, and locked myself out of my hotel room completely naked. And I remember getting all the way out, and then I hear the door shut, which is the most sobering noise I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm standing there, I'm like, what are you gonna do? And I was like on the 7th floor, and I was like, oh, there's a window. I'll just jump out of that, you know? That's easier than talking to my wife about this. But then I looked to the left, and there was a cleaning lady, and she's just staring at me. And I'm just like, what are you doing here? And you know why she's there? Because it's like 11 a.m. That's why she's there. That's how far in the day it was. And I looked at her just like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, this happens to the best of us, right? And she was like, it's never happened before. And I don't even have, like, I don't have like a body either that's like, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I did her a favor. I was like, come on, it's your lucky day, all right? Take it in. I do nothing to try to lose weight. I'm just kind of riding it out, seeing here's where we're at right now. What I've started doing, though, is I tell people I used to weigh 300 pounds because, yeah, I'm a pretty dumb guy. Just, I don't think it's pretty obvious. And it's, I think, I've thought about like time travel. Like if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I would be like, hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket. And he'd be like, yeah, how do they do it? It's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, what's a satellite? Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. It's like a round metal dish or something that's got to go pretty high in the air. I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, you know? Who's the next president? Oh boy. Thank you guys.